Thanks, Pete. And I will try and limit myself to 5 minutes. And by the way, like I agree with you, Saul, that think about machines before machine learning. Yeah. First of all, give it up for both Joel and Saul. And you know why? Because they're the OGs in climate change. They've been fighting the climate fight even before I was in high school. And I know, Joel, you're growing younger every day, so that doesn't mean you're getting old. So I want to talk about AI applied to climate change with two hats. One is the head of an entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur, whose job is to be an eternal optimist and think about pushing society to the next big transformation, right? And then my job is a former policymaker from the government of India in climate, where my job was also to think about the downsides of every transformation or the whole of society, right? And think about in the US too, right? We are here where all of us founders and VCs would be had FDIC not stepped in to bail out Silicon Valley Bank, right? And so, which is where like I was the lead emissions modeler for India for Paris Climate Accord. And a lot of those discussions around AI and climate and its impact on society, we've been having those quite a bit. So talking about AI's impact or AI's solutions and how AI can accelerate solutions to climate change, I want to talk about this light bulb. Can anyone tell me why is this light bulb the pivotal instrument to talk about AI applied to climate change?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give it a hint. So the inventors of light bulb, Edison, Thomas Alva Edison, and his co-inventors, in 1879 and 1876, around that time, it took them almost 3+ years and more than 1,000 attempts to commercialize this light bulb. And the reason is they were trying to figure out the right filament material that could withstand high temperatures and still be reliable for at least 1,200 hours of consistent light. It took them more than 3 years to figure that out, right? If they had the tools that we entrepreneurs have now in machine learning and AI, it would have taken them, it would have been a matter of days, if not minutes, to do so. So this is one bucket, as I call it, like where AI acts as a time multiplier to solutions of climate change. And we do that in food industry, as Joel talked about, where we are helping a lot of seed companies. By seed companies, I mean the crop seed companies, optimize the right trait for launching climate resilient seeds for smallholder farmers in India and Africa, right? The process takes them more than 3 years to figure out the right location. With our technology, it takes them basically a matter of minutes. And it's been deployed across 35% of the crop seed industry right now, right? So that's one area. You could think about similar solutions around time multipliers. I think Saul talked about nuclear energy. And of course, some of my fellow co-founders will talk more about those solutions in time multiplier. The second bucket, which I want to talk about is the effectiveness bucket, how AI can actually make solutions for climate change more effective, right? And there, again, go back to this light bulb. If you have to sort of optimize, like how do we power this light bulb with more and more of renewable energy? And that's where, again, the optimization problem of machine learning comes in. And of course, my buddy here, Apur, will talk about GiveGrid. His company is also like doing something similar in that bucket. So we are only scratching the surface of like the potential of AI in accelerating solutions to climate change. So I'm a big techno-optimist around that era, right? Around that transformation. But something about that also worries me. And that comes back to, which is where I come back to what the AI movement can learn from the climate movement, right? What is the most dangerous assumption the climate movement made 15 years ago in the US? Close. What was the most dangerous assumption we made? Close. I think Like it's slightly more dumber than that. It's not as technical, but well, I moved to this country 10 years ago. So yes, sir. Okay, so the most dangerous assumption that we made, according to me, is that the entire movement to clean energy in the States is going to be net positive. So all those coal miners who are going to lose their jobs, they can be retrained and reskilled into jobs in renewable energy. And that's hard, trust me. And if you don't understand how hard it is, all the founders in here and all the managers in here, go to your offices tomorrow and ask all your engineers to go to sales or they are fired. You'll get to understand how hard it is to like transition people from one job to the other and make dangerous assumptions around that. And as a result, when I came to this country 10 years ago from India, I was shocked to see the only high-income and middle-income country in the world where climate was a polarizing topic globally, right? So now we learned from those mistakes and we talked about just transitioning climate. So similarly, we also have to think about just transition in AI, right? Because we can talk about optimism all the time. Who is this optimism for? Is this optimism for me, like of people in the room, or people living in Silicon Valley? Or is it optimism for a smallholder farmer in India and Africa? Or is it optimism for like all the call center workers in Vietnam, Philippines, or India? Who is this optimism for at the end of the day, right? And that's where if you think about like making this transition as just as we are thinking about climate transition being a just transition, right? So eventually AI in climate change is a problem of optimization, right? And we should be very careful that we should not just be optimizing around profits, we should be optimizing around people and planet too. Thank you.